song remind you of?
I feel like I need to go skipping down like a sidewalk or something.
Yeah,
Like a sunny day, happy, good, stuff like that.
You see a little dog walk down the street.
Dog. Yeah, that could be it too.
Little butterfly flies in. You're having the best day ever.
Yeah. It definitely has like that upbeat and happy feel.
Sometimes when you're not having the best day ever, you lose motivation. That's right. For sure. And today we're talking about regaining your motivation, because I saw somebody post something that they were like, I'm beat up, man. I've put it all out there. I have done every video under the sun, and I'm just hashtagging these all out again, just hashing out those same videos over and over again. I can't do another one. What do you do during those times? So today we're going to be talking about some motivational stuff.
Yeah,
that's a good topic, because
it is, and it doesn't matter like where you're at in your journey at all, because like it happens to everybody. Like this is one thing that like you could have the most successful channel and you're still going to run into issues, and you're going to run into the blocks, like I can't think of another idea. I don't have this, and that it's really hard when you just don't have that same motivation, because you feel like you've done everything that you could possibly do on that subject or on that topic. And it's even more incredibly hard if you're doing it specifically for a certain city, unless like there's a lot of like turnaround of like restaurants or something, or I don't know, like that just seems like that would be a very hard channel to keep up, just because of you feel like you've already done like a pros and cons. You've done the best, 5 places to go or whatever. So it could be hard.
About the neighborhood tours, that first year you're like, I'm going to neighborhood tour. There's hundreds of neighborhood tours.
Yeah.
And after that 60th neighborhood tour, you're like, oh, it's just houses and mailboxes. If you want it, you want it.
Yeah. Yeah. You almost are like checked out. You're just like, this is like my 100th video of this. If you don't know by now, like you should know,
Yeah. You get tired of that. I'm like, I empathize with people that really like focus on their specific area. I started off that way because that's what I was told by the gurus, that I needed to be the mayor for my community. And the one thing that I was also told, and I'm sure many of you have done this, where I was they were like, do the neighborhood tours, do the house tours, and then also be like the digital mayor, like
Mm-hmm.
where you're featuring like the local soap shop that just opened up, and you're like going to their grand opening, and then you're showing their soaps with slow B-roll and stuff. I did that too, and that kind of stuff is soul sucking. If you've ever done something like that, do you know how hard, I think it isn't as hard now as it was then, but trying to convince people that you have, like I would like to do a video of your establishment. Like I used to have to call people, and they're like, I don't know if I want to do that.
What's in it for you? Like, what do you like? It's like, no, it's free marketing, free advertising. No, like there's got to be what is it?
Yeah.
Because they didn't get it. They didn't wrap it wasn't, at that time, like people were advertising on TV, they're doing radio, they're doing like print media, direct mail. Mm-hmm. Not a lot of and if they did TV stuff, it's like the local channels, right? Like not anything like super national. And
mm-hmm.
and it just is so foreign. And then when you say like, well, YouTube, and they're like, kids watch that. It's like it's for games and stuff.
Right. And that can lose your motivation big time when you're just sitting there.
Why am I real? Should I be posting?
Yeah, like all of this, like you're doing this for free to help them out too, you're just like, and then they think you have a hidden agenda.
Right.
So I'm going to tell you one of my biggest tips for motivation. And believe it or not, Joe Eves is a part of this. So to stay motivated and not lose your steam, there's going to be moments that you're just in the dumps. And when I'm in the dumps, I call my accountability partner, which happens to be Joe Eves. You have to have somebody in your life that you can bounce these ideas off of somebody else, somebody that's doing YouTube also. And it doesn't necessarily need to be somebody that's in the real estate profession. Matter of fact, it's probably better that they're not, because they're seeing YouTube in a completely different way. So it steps you away from being a salesperson and gets you more into a creative person. So having somebody in your circle that you can call and say, hey, I'm having a tough time. I can't come up with any ideas. This is what I'm supposed to be doing this week, but my energy is sucked. What do you think? And then you guys can bounce off ideas to each other. That's a really good idea.
Yeah, it's a great idea. Like that honestly is probably one of the best things you can do so that you stay motivated. And I would add to that is when you meet with someone that you want to be an accountability partner, like you literally should sit down and have a session where you share your goals. Like, I want to do this. I want to do this. And be open, vulnerable, like be crazy and tell them all of the things that you want. And then, have them do the same and they don't have to be exactly the same thing in order for you to grow. It just needs to be someone that's committed to making sure that you do what you say you're going to do. And so then when you get someone like that, then the next step is that you plan a time and a specific like day and time every week that you meet and go over your goals and go over, because there's always that, if you have the context with your accountability partner of like, I want to get this many views, or I want to put this many videos out, or I want to do this, then they're able to ask you, hey, what video did you put out? Like,
what did you do?
Yeah. What did you do? And how I know the answer to this for myself, but how many times the night before the scheduled call where you're like, holy crap, I have to do something because tomorrow I'm talking to him and I don't want to say I didn't do anything.
And we've had those calls where I'm like, I didn't do it.
Yeah.
I didn't do it. And he's like, okay, so what are we going to do to get you to do it? It's good to have somebody in your corner that's going to push you forward. The other thing too is, and I need to do this more myself, but it's probably because my brain isn't working the way it used to when I was younger. When you have momentum yourself, when you're really excited and pumped up and you have all of these ideas, freaking write them down. Write down your ideas, because I promise you, when you're in the dumps, you're never going to remember those ideas. So I do often put it in, I have the notes app. And so I have like ideas that I put in my notes app, and that helps a lot. Like this week, I was kind of like, I didn't want to make the video I was supposed to make for my playlist. I just didn't feel like doing it. So I went back to like some older content that always is pretty successful to my channel. And I recorded a video for that. And I was like, okay, that made me feel better because I could be like more relaxed. I didn't have to be like, like giving out every tiny detail of the whole process of buying a home or whatever it was, like I didn't have to do that. I didn't have to look up special articles. It was just me and a camera and a bunch of tiny houses, and that was it.
And because you know that so well, you can talk about it pretty much like off the cup at any time.
Right. So I had all of those, like, it was just, I had a screen recording, I had my camera, I could, be my personality. I recorded that. It did take an hour, but it wasn't, I wasn't like going back and having to research and make sure I got those numbers right. And it was much more relaxed recording and much more fun. So I think that's like one of those things you're going to have at times. Just go off the beaten path and just try something new-ish, or go back to something you hadn't recorded in a long time. And you're like, I can go and re-record that, do that better, something that was more fun for you. Do it. It may not be successful. There are times that I know that I'm going to put out a video that I know may not be the most successful, but it still falls in line with my avatar. It's still related to real estate, and it gets the video out there. I did one recently. It was a modular house factory tour. super interesting. Loved the video. I already had a feeling it wouldn't do well because it didn't really relate to education, but I thought it was interesting enough that maybe my avatar would like it. Maybe it was a test.
Yeah.
Wanted to try it. Guess what? Big giant,
Yeah.
it failed. It failed. But I didn't care. I didn't have the expectation of it making it work, but it was fun to do something. It motivated me to do something a little bit different than what I had normally done. It was very kind of vloggy style, and just an experiment. It's okay to do that every once in a while,
Right. Yeah. I mean, that way you have like up to date data on, okay, how did my viewer respond to this? Did they like it? Didn't they like it? What are the things that if they did like it, that they liked? You obviously can go back and review those things. But I think to your point, more importantly, is you still put a video out, and it was one that you put out that you were comfortable with. And it doesn't matter if you've made a video similar to that, because chances are the people that are going to watch it have never seen the other video. So it's one of those things where you were able to get something out. And I know a lot of times when you're putting out stuff and you are racking your brain on what to do and how to do it, and then you just end up not doing it at all because it's so much work, and you're just like, I'll just do it next week instead. And so like, that's a great tip to just go back to, like, okay, what is it that you could talk about that won't take you long because you know it so well, and it does fit in your niche and the avatar, and it literally is just something that becomes, it's just supplement to the stuff that you've already done. But at the same time, you never know if the markets shift. Now you have something that it could pop off still. Just because it didn't do it right now doesn't mean that it won't later.
Right. And like you made up a really good point, because sometimes it happens to us where we have the analysis paralysis, because we were
Yeah.
like, well, I have to do it like this, and if I don't do it like this, and that means I'm going to have to research this, and then you're almost like basically talking yourself out of it, and
Out of
nothing.
making a video because you're like, I don't want to do the research.
Right. And nothing will suck your motivation from you, that like doing that, trying to like analyze everything to death. And then you're heading towards there's a window of time that you can record. And if you have enough time to edit, and then
Yep.
you go past or into that window and you still haven't hit record, you're literally giving yourself a panic attack, and then you're like, I'm too nervous to do it, and then you don't do it, and then because
Yep.
you've analyzed that to death. We've had students that do that. they
Yeah.
they analyze and analyze and analyze, and they have yet to have even put out a channel, because they want to make it right so badly that
Yeah.
they are scared to not do it right immediately.
Well, and that's
Happens.
part of the process, right?
Yes.
Is like, you have to be able to put stuff out, and
Hmm.
it's okay if it's not perfect. Like, it's
Right.
not going to be perfect, but if you put it out, you will learn something from that. And then if you can just tweak that just a little bit and make the next video a little bit better, or you do something a little bit more effectively, that's going to help. But you learn something along the process, because I think that, a lot of people they overanalyze, they overthink it, and then what happens is, because of that, they never put anything out. Yet they, in theory, know everything. But part of the growth and part of understanding is actually putting it out. And like, everyone does this. They put a video out when they first start putting stuff on YouTube, and then it's like, to them, it's like, okay, I did it, it's great. And then you go back and you watch it, and you're like, oh, that was terrible. Like, why did I ever do that? That's so dumb. But at that point, it was all you knew. And then
Hmm.
you grow and you do more. And then in another year, you're going to look at the videos you're making now, and you're going to be like, why did I do that? Like, that's
Hmm.
so dumb. Like, why? But the thing is, and if you don't see that, then you're not progressing. Like, then it's like, you should be making like good, like, progress with each video that you release. But going back to, like, the other thing that happens is, when you don't have an accountability partner, when you don't have focus, you don't have goals written down where you can see them, you forget. And then it's easy Like it might be hard. You're like, I'm committed, I'm going to do it. And then like like for whatever reason, you let 1 week go by that you don't do it. And
Mm-hmm.
because you didn't do it, it becomes easier the next week to do this, to be like, you know what? And then even though you have good intentions, then it's a month and you haven't put a video out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's I think that's the danger of like getting like where you don't feel like you know what to do, or you don't feel like what videos to make, or you lost motivation. And so but going back to your point originally of like, there was when I was in, before I got into real estate, before I got into anything, I had a mentor, and he taught me, I did yellow page sales.
Mm-hmm.
So I would go door to, or business to business, and sell yellow pages in Phoenix. And one of the top salespeople, he's still a really good friend of mine today. He said, the best time to go make sales is right after you make a sell. He's like,
Mm-hmm.
because you're on this high where you just made a sell and you're able to do it. It
Mm-hmm.
goes right back to what you were saying with creativity, is like when you have a good video and when you put something out and it gets like what you think it should get or even more, and you have like all of a sudden like more ideas because of that, writing those down are so important, because we forget so quickly. Because he would say, ride the highs because the lows are going to kill you, and you have to just push through, and you have to remember those highs. And people that make a big sell and then they go home for the day, they've missed out on the opportunity to make even more money. And I'd say the same thing happens with ideas, with video. Like when you figure something out, like there's nothing more motivating than when you get something going. Like I've been messing with this. I have a Sony DSLR, and I've been trying to get for this YouTube channel, this video that I'm working on. It's more of like a tutorial type thing, but there's a certain way that I wanted to film it, and the software wasn't compatible with my camera. And I like, there's nothing more demotivating than when you have technical difficulties with your camera or with a program or with whatever. And I'm like, forget it. I'm not going to make the video. I'm so pissed right now because this thing is not working. I sent in tech support. I did all of these things and it's just not working. And the funny thing is, this is I shouldn't even say this because it's like, it shows how dumb I am. The funny thing is that like I had this little thing on my desk, like a little, it's a cam link. So anybody that knows what those are,
Mm-hmm.
it converts your DSLRs into like a webcam,
Mm-hmm.
sitting on my desk right there. And this whole time for a week, I've been messing with this thing. And then I was like, I'm gonna have to film the video this way, and I'm gonna have to do this. And then like 2 days ago, like in the morning, I just had like this. I'm like, I wonder if the cam link will work. I haven't even tried that.
Mm-hmm.
Plugged it in, turned on right off the bat, started working. I'm like, I'm such an idiot. And then what's funny is I actually have a YouTube video that's like explaining how to do all that I had totally forgot about. Like, I'm like, I can't.
Well, speaking of cameras, right? Speaking of cameras, not getting their work, being unmotivated. This is when I called my accountability partner because I couldn't get my mirrorless Canon to work right. He doesn't even. Let me just say, he doesn't even use Canons, but
No, I don't.
he knew enough about like the basics of any camera to help me and walk me through this whole entire process. He spent an hour
Yep.
helping me get my camera settings right. But that was the power of having a good accountability partner, because I had been trying to film for 3 days and I was literally like, I even texted him. I'm like, look, I'm about to take this thing and throw it into the universe, never to be seen again. Granted, I'm probably going to get a Sony the next time, but
Yeah.
one more thing you mentioned too is that put it out there and see what happens. So remember earlier I was talking about like that I did that modular home company tour of
Yeah.
their facility. Super interesting video. Nobody really watched it, but I learned that my gut was right. First of all, that it wouldn't really match up with my audience. And then a brand reached out to me and said they wanted me to do a tour like that. I'm like, if you really want better, momentum to that video, we should really make it about how a modular home is made, not the, we'll show the tour, we'll show, you know, so how it's made, like in it, but walking them through the actual steps of getting a modular home. And we could talk about the differences of manufactured and how that would look different. That would resonate so much better for your brand and my audience, and get a heck of a lot more traction. And they were like, oh, okay.
Didn't even think of that. Yeah.
Yeah. But thank God I had done that other video and knew it didn't work out, so that when this next brand contacted me, I could do that. So
yeah, because you had the experience, right? You put it out there and you're like, hey, and it's not the tour video isn't a thing and that you couldn't get views, but you knew that it didn't work for your audience. But what it allowed you to do is honestly solve a problem for you and for the manufacturer, because you're able to like do it for both people, that's incredible.
Yeah. So it's going to work out better. So they even, like, they're starting on a project now. And so they went out there and took videos of the scraping of the ground. They're going to they're literally setting it up for me for when I do come out there. Right. So having those moments where you test out new stuff, when you do start working with brands, you're going to understand who your audience is a lot better. So you can service your brand so much better too. And I know some of you are thinking, oh, well, I'm never going to be a YouTuber. It has nothing to do with being a YouTuber. It has a way of making more money from your channel other than selling houses.
Right.
And everybody should be looking at your audience as not just somebody that buys and sells houses from you. You should be looking at them as potential ways to earn even more money by simple things that they would already buy for themselves, whether that be like floodlights or like anything that's related to the house that would identify really well with your avatar and your brand. You can sell those things. And it's not, I think some people feel like it's cheesy because they're like, well, I'm a professional real estate agent, I don't want to sell stuff. It's not that. I mean, I always tell the story.
Oh, go ahead. I was just going to say really quickly, like the thing is that if you truly believe in that and it fits with your audience, they're not going to look at that as you being a salesperson and you selling them. What you're doing is you're providing a solution to a problem that they have. Yep.
And but the other thing that, like, you end up selling stuff that you never even imagined. Because I tell this story all the time. I do that whenever I do my talks. I talk about how I wore these goofy, very comfortable overalls in a video. And I knew they were goofy looking, and I knew I was going to get a ton of comments on them. I wore them for that very reason, because it caused people to have a reaction, even though the video is just about buying land, right?
Right.
What I didn't expect was how many women in that chat during those comments were like, where'd you get those overalls? Those look so comfortable. Where did you get them? Where did you get them? And I happen to have an Amazon affiliate link. I bought them from Amazon. And to this date, I've sold over $10,000 in stupid overalls on a video about buying land, right? And people will ask you things in your videos that may have nothing to do with the videos. I see it on TikTok all the time too. Like somebody will be talking about the death of their dog, and they're like, I'm really sorry about your dog, but can you please tell me what your lipstick color was?
I'm not trying to be insensitive, but dang, tell me what that is.
But man, your eyes are sparkling today. What is that? So look at it as not cheesy. Just look at it as another way you're servicing people to help them with a problem that they need solved. That's how
and you know what the thing is that people are smart, and they're smart and dumb, but like they're smart when it comes to like they know when you're pushing something on them, as opposed to something that just is a natural organic thing that you truly believe in, and that it does help you with those things. And so that is something that, like, as you get views, as you get people that are reaching out to you, you should be very, very picky on the type of things that you put, like co-op or brand, like any kind of commercial type thing or promoting or any of that stuff. You should really make sure that your viewer is going to be like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Or they're going to be like, you just selling me stuff now? Like, because you got some views, you're going to try to sell me?
speaking of selling you stuff.
Perfect timing.
Perfect timing, right? So we're opening up you can go ahead and sign up for the next round of Real Estate Video Geeks course. We are this will be the last round that offers unlimited coaching, lifetime coaching for the course. Now it's just you would just get the 8 weeks, and then you would have to pay an additional fee, which we haven't figured out what that fee. It's not going to be that much. Let's just be honest, but it's going to be totally worth it. And so right here, it's lifetime access. You still will get lifetime access to all 71 lessons. You still will get group coaching for the full 8 weeks that you've had it. Actually, I think it's 9 weeks because
we give 9 weeks. Yeah,
we give you a freebie week where you can catch up with stuff. We offer 3 different tiers of product that you might want. If you're new to it, go ahead and get like the create your own channel. It's just a little mini course. Then you can join the other one if you wanted to be a self-learner. Don't recommend that because you'll end up texting me and I won't answer. And then you get the legacy, which is the lifetime coaching. And this is going to be limited. We're not going to be offering lifetime coaching after this next session. That's it. So if you were on the fence and you were thinking about it, it's the just under $3,000 for lifetime coaching on YouTube. So it's there. We're revamping a lot of really cool stuff. The students we have now will tell you we're offering like you cannot get the value of what we're giving to our students after next month. Like honest to God, the people that are in the legacy group currently, they're getting some good stuff, really good stuff. And it's really I'm really happy because we're changing lives here.
Yeah.
We're making waves and changing lives of a lot of different real estate agents that are in the group. And the ones that have listened have been very successful. And that makes me so happy. I'm such a proud mama.
Right. I will say like there, every group has had some good people that have gone through, but like the groups that we've got right now, like they really, really are like understanding things in a way that like will set them up. And the thing is that like anything, if you really want to get better at something, then there's lots of gurus that'll tell you that they're doing everything and that, but at the end of the day, like the results speak for themselves. And the things that matter most is that Christina and I actually understand how YouTube works. We understand why you get views. We understand how to recognize patterns and how to help people. And what's interesting, and this is my favorite part, is when our students get it and they go, oh, that totally makes sense. I just saw this. And now everything you've been talking to me about, like I've been banging my head against the wall and it just clicked. And then,
when it clicks, Joe and I will message each other and be like, oh, such and such got it. I know, I saw that. And we are getting so excited. Yeah. I get so excited. And my goal is for one of my students to actually kill my views. Like, I want them to do way better than I did. Way better. Way better.
Yeah. And the thing is that it's not something that like, I think a lot of people think that, well, I'm going to take this course, I'm going to, or a course, and then I'm going to just be an expert at YouTube. Like it's not how it works. Like you have to put in work. It is work. There's a lot of work, and we're pretty demanding. Like we hold people accountable, and we're demanding on them, one, where they're at, and two, if they're doing what we've asked them to do. And because we can only do so much. And then the people that actually are committed, that listen to what we say, and we've been giving nuggets this whole live stream about part of the stuff that we offer in the course. And so those are the things that if you get and understand those pieces of it, all of a sudden you will have success. And the thing that's great is you start getting the views, you start getting people calling and getting leads. You learn how to get affiliate links and other sources of income that you're getting that you would never have thought of, like Christina's overalls. Like there's all these things that are additional, but it all comes back to one thing, and that is understanding who you're making content for. And if you can understand that and you can be committed with that, then you're going to have good success.
The other thing too is that we're backed up by some pretty smart people. So
Right. Right.
yeah. So this course will continue to grow. We have some great things coming up. I do want to point this out. If you happen to be a lender, we have opened it up to lenders as well. We decided to do that, well, I think last week or something.
Yeah.
So yeah. So if you are a lender, this will work for you too. That our system will work for you as a mortgage broker, and we'd love to see you on the course. And it's funny because I'm still a member of Daryl Eves' course, and I see lenders in there sometimes, and they're like, "Hey, I'm having a hard time with this," and I'm
not
like,
quite understanding. I feel like I'm drinking from a fire hose here.
Yeah, it's a lot to take in. So we have simplified the Channel Jumpstart way, tailored specifically for real estate agents and of course lenders. So if you're in the real estate business, whether you're with title, lender, real estate agent, come on over. We'll help you. Let Joe and I hold your hand and walk you through this YouTube process, because it's not easy. And if you get a course that's like, all you have to do is do these 5 videos in these 5 ways, and then you're going to end up, this is all you're going to have to do is make these kinds of videos week after week. That will definitely get you started. There's no doubt about it. I'm not even saying it won't, but you're going to plateau and you're going to need more. And you're going to need to boost your channel so you're continuing getting views, and you won't lose motivation, because how many more times can you do 5 neighborhoods in your area and well, let's compare this neighborhood to this neighborhood, and let's do some more pros and cons, where everybody in your market has done the same exact videos. The way we teach is we're not telling you specifically what to make. We're showing you exactly what to make for your specific avatar, and you'll never run out of ideas. Never, ever, ever. It's impossible. Whenever somebody says, I just don't know what to make, and they're one of our students, we have an answer for you. We have an immediate answer for you. Nobody's going at it alone. That's for sure.
So we've got somebody asking, does the Go Big 2024 code still work? It does not. That was a very limited time offer. We don't have any codes.
That.
I don't even know where you find that at.
That was on the video. It was on the promotional video. You had to go, use.
Oh, I'll have to look at that. Yeah, sorry. I mean, you could put it in there and it's still not gonna...
it might work. Try it. If it works,
I don't think it's gonna work, but hey, you could try it.
Yeah.
You might get a message that says "Go fish." So.
Yeah. Go fish.
But
Rebecca, Becca, hi, Mecca, hiney, ho.
Every time.
Rebecca's one of our students, and every time that she comes in, that's what I do to her. I can't help myself. Christina's a nerd. That's why this course is called Geeks.
Yeah. So, one of the things, just we were talking about staying motivated and having those things, like one of the things that, like, in the beginning, right? Like it's new and it's exciting because you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to make a video. I'm going to learn how to edit a little bit. And because it is something new, and honestly, in my opinion, it's way better than going and hanging door hangers on doors or something, or canvassing a neighborhood. Now, don't hate me if that's what you do. I'm sorry. It's just not what I would want to do. But at the end of the day, like people get excited, and the technology now is so much easier than when we first started putting videos up on YouTube. Like YouTube has gotten a lot smarter too, a lot easier to use. But like, even like your cell phone now, like if you have a smartphone, you can make YouTube videos that look incredible. Like that's the thing, is you don't need all of this technology like you did when I first started. It's just totally different. Have I ever showed you my first camera? Can I show you it really fast?
But I'm going to explain, like, while you're going to look at your camera, I'm going to explain.
Go ahead and explain.
My first camera was a new camera that I saw Oprah Winfrey have for the video. It was a video called I Got a Feeling, like the Black
Uh-huh.
Eyed Peas. And she had this camera it was about this wide, and it looked like a cell phone, but it was called a flip camera, right? Because
Mhm.
you could flip out the USB tab to plug it into your computer. That was my first video I ever uploaded to YouTube, was from this camera, and it took like 3 hours to upload. I did a tour of a property in the middle of nowhere, Louisiana. And I put it in there. And then it was so weird because like 8 years later, the people that bought that house asked me to take down that video. And I didn't even remember that I posted it. And I didn't remember what account it was posted on. I'm like, I don't know how to take it down. I don't even have access. I don't remember doing it. But yeah, they wanted it to take down.
So my first video, my first video that I ever made on YouTube, I'm gonna show it because it's
Mhm.
5 seconds long. It was my very first upload ever to YouTube.
Mhm.
But look at this. This was my camera.
Oh, I had one of those.
Yeah, this was like, it's backwards. This was like my very first camera ever.
Mhm.
And it has like the little mini DVs, and you have like the little thing that clicks out or whatever. So like that was my very first camera. And I was like blown away. I was like so excited. It was like 4:3 aspect ratio. It was 720 pixels. Like it was like this just
Yeah.
insane thing. And so I'm going to show you this. This is my very first video I ever
Oh my
uploaded.
God. This is
That's
your little
Aubrey.
girl. I was gonna say this is the little girl that just got married.
Yes, she's married now. This is Aubrey, and so it was 16 years ago. And check this out. You ready?
Uh-huh.
Let's see.
Oh, wow, that's impressive. How'd you do that?
In After Effects. But look, dude, it got 1.2 million views.
That's impressive.
So 16 years ago, my very first video right there. And it was a blast. Like,
Mhm.
had so much fun. So I get it. Like there are things that like when you get into it, there's all this, everything's new, there's things to do, you can learn. The thing that keeps that going is having good coaches help you so that you don't get discouraged, so you don't get off on the wrong path, because there are people that you will, if you're tenacious, and if you're like dedicated and determined, you can figure out how to get your videos to pop, how to get more views. But that's a long hard road, and especially if you're doing it like by yourself, it's a lonely road. And so one of the things that we really work on is, we know the pitfalls and the things that you're going to run into because we've been there. It's someone that's kind of been down there before. So having us, help you and guide you and teach you the things that we learned, that are proven methods, because we learned everything through Daryl and his channel Jumpstart, like that you can fast track yourself into something that you aren't as likely to lose motivation, because you actually are learning things. And then not only are you learning the things that we're teaching you, but you're getting results too. And that's what keeps you motivated. It's what's hard is when you keep making videos and you keep putting videos out, and nothing happens. That's hard. People
Yep.
do it, and they will push through. I'm not saying you can't do it. There's just a faster and more effective way.
Mhm. Yep. I showed this to Joe. I'll tell you guys this. I had before my channel was successful. I mean, I had been pushing out videos since 2017, 2019. I had won a call with the Mr. Famous Daryl Ease, and I kept that recording, and I kind of like forgot about it. Well, I was going through some stuff on my Google Drive, and there was the call. And I sent that to Joe, and I'm like, oh my God. And you know what's so weird is that he asked me what my goals were. And I said, I want to create a course and show a body of work that I know what I'm talking about. So that way I can help real estate agents. I didn't remember that I had said that, but I said that in that call. My channel banner was atrocious. My thumbnails were vomitous. I mean, like, I can't even imagine why he didn't even start cracking up laughing when he was looking at my channel. And like, he saw the potential. Thank
Yeah.
God, you know?
Yeah.
So
Well,
that was
not
neat
only
to see.
that, but you listened. Like that's the big thing too, is you listened. You
Right.
got information and you said, okay, I'm going to do it. So
I'm going to do it. Like well, my whole thing was like, I'm always one of those people that I can't stand to be taking advantage of as far as money is concerned.
I'm going to show you that you're
Yeah.
wrong.
Right. Well, and then I had spent money on a guru. And I'm like, there's nothing this guy's going to tell me that's any different than all the other gurus that go live streaming every single week, saying the same garbage with tags and thumbnails and all of their nonsense that ended up being like full of poop. Their SEO magic soup garbage. I'm like, he's going to say, and he said something different. And I'm like, okay, well, he's giving me actionable things that I can do different. And I did them because I was it was either one of two things. Either he was a genius or he was another person that was looking to make more money off of somebody else, right? And so he's a genius. Just FYI, everybody wants to know he's a genius.
Yeah.
He's a genius. He's not full of garbage. So I'm very thankful. Daryl Lee's has changed my life. Yeah. So anyways, we're getting a little emotional there.
I think this is important, and it's important to like everything that we're talking about, right? Is like that's super interesting that you had that goal and that you had forgotten about it. It's what's funny is when you sent me the video and I saw because I haven't watched all of it yet, but I saw like the first little section. And when I looked at it, I was like, that looks like every channel that we do a channel review on.
Absolutely.
I was like, this
so
looks
bad.
it looks exactly like that. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Because that's what real estate agents have been told.
Yeah.
That's what we were told, especially at that time. Oh my God. I'm so mad. So mad. Well, we have a channel review to do.
Yeah, we do.
They're tired of hearing us blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, we're just yapping.
Yapping away. All right. We got Living North Idaho Life. Okay. Well, let me do the channel banner and then you can take it from there.
You got it.
Okay. So first off, you have a picture of yourself where it looks like your arms have been cut off. If you guys ever watched the movie, you know, like all those, what was that? I cut off your arms. And they got the coconuts. What was that?
Oh,
Mighty Python. Mighty Python. You remember that where the knight cut off his arms?
That's what it's a scratch.
It's just a mere flesh wound. Just a mere flesh wound. You know, that's right here. So your picture should be bigger because your arms look like they've been chopped off by a pair of scissors. So move that, make your face bigger. Secondly of all, you do not need to have the subscribe here. Absolutely not. Everybody at this point knows the culture of YouTube. There's no reason to have the subscribe button even on there, right? If you want to have it, move it to the left, but it's not necessary. What you really want to do is put the value proposition of what somebody who's never been to your channel is going to get from your content. So if your content is about buying homes, like get the best from buying your first home, right? So that would be your value proposition, what they would get from your content. I'm assuming this is some kind of logo that you have. I would move that over to the left. I would actually that looks like a beautiful photograph in the background of probably a nice area of North Idaho. So why don't you, instead of darkening, show a little bit more of that landscape that's in the background here. I don't understand this map. I would take it off. Doesn't make any sense. And then, you know, this is fine. You can keep this here. Is there anything you want to add to that, Joe?
No, I think you covered all of it, really. I think that those are really good tips.
Okay. So you can do the about section.
All righty. So let's see. Okay. Well, I mean, he has a good start. He's definitely not like talking about himself first and saying that that's what he does is, you know, use me, use me. He's talking about the area. So I think that's all well and fine.
But the thing is I'm going to say this. He doesn't talk about buying a home. He's talking about if you're moving
living.
or relocating. So what are you, a travel guide? Like you're a real estate agent. So put something in there about buying
Or
buying a
moving,
house.
buying and
Yeah.
moving, or
Selling.
something.
He's got a little bit of moving
The
too.
the problem is that you get these people that say you got to do the living in, right? Like
Right.
everything's living in, and so right, we understand that, but like a buyer, they're not thinking about living in, they're thinking about buying. I'm buying or I'm moving. Like the living in comes later. That's when you live there.
Right.
So when she's saying like a tour guide, like that's okay, like all right, I get that. So I don't. I probably would take out all the emojis because they don't make any sense. So you don't need those in there. You are saying we get calls and emails every day of people just like you. So a couple things. You have the very first thing that you have is the first link is a subscription link. And the thing is that like it used to be a thing where you could hit it and then it would like pop up and you could subscribe.
It still has that right there.
Right, I know, but I'm just saying like that nobody does that. You don't need that. Like people know how to subscribe. They know if they like you, they're going to subscribe. If they want to watch, they're going to do that. So having that in there that's not what you want. What you want is you want people to reach out to you. You want their information. So what we recommend is put a squeeze page on there or a landing page where you can actually collect their name, phone number, and email. And then you can then reach out to them because you want leads. Like that's what you're really wanting to do. So I would change that, get rid of the subscribe, and just have the link where they can put their information in, and then you get notified. You could even do like have that in there, and then it loads a Calendly or something after that where they could then set up a Zoom meeting or something. You do say that on your banner, so that's why I would be like, why don't you make it easier for them? People are lazy. Like just have a button where they can put their information in, and then you can follow up with them. So
I concur, Joey. It's very good. I concur. It's like we've done this before.
Like a time or two.
Yeah, this a couple times. All right, let's go over to his thumbnails. He just started. I mean, like November of 2023. He's a newbie, little newbie. I don't hate his thumbnails.
No, I was just going to say he's doing the rule of thirds really, really well. He is a little like desaturated his skin.
Yeah.
It doesn't for how like I do like how they oversaturated the thumbnails. Like I like how the green is really green, the blues are really blue. I like all of that, but your face doesn't work with that. So you need to adjust your settings on your camera or your smartphone or whatever, and then make it so that it looks better. Because right now even with the white like outline or stroke, get rid of that. Like you don't need that.
If I had to bet $1, I bet you $1 million that it's a screen grab from the video.
It could be, yep.
And if you're going to do that, take that screen grab, bring it over into something like Snapseed or some kind of photo editor that will balance out the white balance. It will balance out like you can up the sharpness. You can boost the clarity so it doesn't look like a screen grab. You can do that where it will make the clarity of your own photograph look so much better because there's a disconnect from the clarity of the picture that you're showing in the background and the picture of yourself. Yeah.
So one of the things, oh, go ahead.
No, I was just, go ahead.
So one of the things that I'm just recognizing or looking at right off the bat is you're kind of doing a lot of different types of videos, and they're not geared towards a very specific like niche. And a lot of people are going to say, well, my location is my niche, so that's what I'm doing. That's not what I'm talking about. Like you have land, you have touring, you have 55 and older, there's too many things going on. And so like in order for YouTube to really understand like who your audience is, you have to be consistent. And you're just kind of taking, Daryl calls it the spaghetti against the wall, where you just grab everything and you just throw it and hope something sticks. So you need a, even though you're brand new, you really need to like look at, you need to look at your views, and you need to look at like what is the content that you want to make. Obviously your affordable housing is pretty good. Like,
Mhm.
so people are interested in affordable housing, off the grid living.
Yep. I was just gonna say that these two right here. You should, I would look into the like the comments of this. Who's watching this? See how you can repeat this with again. You haven't had any comments yet.
Yeah, but it's still new. It's still pretty new.
Huh. Yeah, but why did it get 9?
Unless he's boosting it.
Yep. That's what I'm kind of thinking.
Yeah,
Because you can't get 900 views and not have
without a comment.
not one comment. I think someone put a little ad money on that one.
Could be. Is it a listing?
No, it doesn't look like it.
You sure?
I don't know. I'll keep let's try. No, it's not a listing. I think he's showing off the grid. This actually looks like a fantastic video.
Yep.
Really well done. I'm kind of sad that if he did put some
money
add money behind it, because I think this could have, if you had just redone the thumbnail a little bit and redone the title, I think this would have done better for you. Yeah, I mean, there's some good B-roll in here and everything.
Yep. The thing that he could work on is shortening up your titles for sure. Like that's a big one. And then dialing in your thumbnails, and then give it time. Like that's the other thing, is people get impatient. So maybe he got it up there.
Look at this. He's got great. I want him on my course so we can tell him the right way, because he has filming down.
Yeah. Yeah. He's definitely comfortable in front of the camera for sure.
And it's good editing, and he's putting in some good stuff in here. Whoever his editor is should be congratulated. I am highly impressed with your quality of work.
Yeah,
Dang.
it's definitely good. Just missing a couple little teeny things that would make a big difference.
What do we say?
Small tweaks.
Big peaks.
Yep.
You need some tweaking.
Yeah. He just, I mean, but look at that right there. Like that background and everything. People.
Dang.
So that's where I'm like, I can't see for 900 views and 30 thumbs up that he's not doing some kind of boost or running it in through an email campaign.
Oh, I was just going to say, he probably put it on a drip mail campaign.
Yeah.
And
to like his buyers.
Kiss of death on a video.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. Not right away. We have a method for you to do that and do it successfully. Now, I'm going to tell you this. There's going to be people out there that tell you, oh, it doesn't hurt the analytics at all. I attach it to all my email campaigns. And I'm going to tell you right now, there's a method and a way to do it to even make your channel even more successful, right? Even though you think that is success, you could even be more successful if you do it the way that we tell you to do it. And, we that's part of our course too. So,
well, and that's the thing, is it's not that you can't do it. It's just understanding when to do it.
When and why.
Yeah.
Why you don't do it that way. Yep.
Yeah. I bet you it's an email list. That's my guess.
Mm-hmm. Here we go. Monty Python and the Holy Grail. That's it. That was it. I love that you knew that. I saw spam a lot at local university theater last week. Hilarious. Spams. That was not my thing. I was too young. I had older brothers though, and they would go around quoting the movie constantly. They have it all memorized. And my brother, even for years, used to wear shirts that just said spam on it.
That's funny.
This still has those t-shirts. Well, we only had one channel review today, but that's okay, because this is all about keeping motivated. And hopefully Joe and I had given you some motivation, maybe even some motivation to go over to our link over there, realestatevideogeeks.com, and sign up for the course. Hey, you may even want to try to see if that that code works. Because if it
Yeah.
works, man, there's nothing we can do about it. You just saved yourself $5, $500. Sorry, $500.
$5. We'll do that.
Yeah, yeah, $500.
Yeah,
Well, hey, you know what? If you didn't take it off there, Joe, that's on you.
Yeah, hopefully I did.
Yeah, hopefully you did.
So
All right.
yeah, it's been really, really fun. I think that there's some nuggets that we definitely talked about, from having an accountability partner to putting your goals down, to when you have your wins, to write down the ideas and things that you have to help you push through the hard times, because you really, just like in anything, there's ups and downs, and you're gonna need those things to help you push through. And there's nothing or very few things harder than when you lost motivation. Like, that's the hardest thing to recover from, unless you have safeguards in place to help you. And those can be goals, those can be an accountability partner, those can be so many things. But part of your success in getting organic leads on YouTube is going to depend on understanding how to get your message out to more people. And that's exactly what we teach, without having to try to do any hacks or anything that, like, shortcuts. Like, the stuff that we teach you can work, and it will work, but it will take you, like, work on your part.
There's no magic solution.
Yeah, there's not a secret sauce. I wish there was.
There isn't. It's a secret elixir that we give you that all of a sudden makes everything.
It would be great. It'd be great if there was, but there's not. You just have to do it. But when you find that success, and when you start understanding those things, then there's nothing to hold you back.
Absolutely. So rewarding. So, all right, everybody, we'll see you next Thursday. It's been real. It's been real fun. We love you. Mean it. Let's do some music on the way out.
I like it. Let's do it. You got like that all fancy skipping music again?
Yeah, let's see what happens here. We'll see what this is.
And you're just going to surprise me. I think we played this one a lot.
Yeah, we play this one. I got to get some music, new tunes.